the New York Times has published a piece claiming that on October 7th, there's evidence of rape and beheading. You have debunked that. You have just obliterated that. Why would the Times do it? And what was the Times so-called information even based on?
Well, this is a high-level Israeli psychological operation and a propaganda hoax that only became coherent about 2 months after October 7th, when Israel decided that international support for its genocidal rampage in Gaza was faltering, and that they were particularly losing support among Joe Biden's base, which includes many feminists, progressive-minded people. And so they began to accuse Hamas of mass rape without any forensic evidence. And that's the first thing the New York Times piece by Jeffrey Gettleman, who is guilty of the worst journalistic malpractice, as we just outlined at our live stream at the Gray Zone, and I did so on Twitter and will continue to do. They blame the lack of forensic evidence, the total lack of forensic evidence proving these allegations, on Jewish burial ritual. So basically, if you challenge any of this or ask for evidence, you're anti-Semitic. Then they proceed to interview all these witnesses. One guy, Raz Cohen, who's a former Special Forces soldier who was at the Nova Electronic Music Festival, who claimed to have seen Hamas militants get out of a white van and gang rape a woman in the middle of their lightning surprise attack on Israel. And this is a guy who has changed his story, as I've documented, no less than 8 times. And when he was interviewed on October 9th, first interviewed, he made no statements about having witnessed any rape. Then you have this anonymous paramedic that the New York Times interviews, who has previously gone on an Indian news channel and lied about finding a dead Israeli baby thrown in a trash can by Hamas militants and stabbed multiple times. There's no record of that. He's just a fraud. I can go on and on. But from top to bottom, this story is an elaborate fraud based on the perception that anyone involved with Hamas is capable of sexual savagery as soon as they come upon a Jewish Israeli woman, which is interesting because if you listen to the testimonies of the young women who have come out of the Gaza Strip where they were held in captivity, none of them describe any sexual abuse. In fact, one said that she was shocked at how careful her captors were to not make her feel uncomfortable in any way or violated in any way. That's not to say that, everything Hamas did was
of course,
that they didn't kill people, they didn't kill
Right.
civilians. But what
Right.
Israel has to do, Israel has to go big with its propaganda to justify its big genocide.
And Max, the propaganda has been a failure. Is there any country on the planet besides the United States of America whose government buys this?